Hi and welcome. My name is Naomi Pollock. I am the Manager of Student and Employer Relations in MATC's Career Hub. And today we're going to be talking about creating and leveraging your Handshake account. So with that, I have a few icons here of different job search sites that you all might be familiar with. So, sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, Milwaukee Jobs, government jobs. These are sites that you may have come across as you search for jobs in the past or have been told about searching for jobs. And these are all general sites where any employer can post and any job seeker can look. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about how Handshake might be a little different than some of these sites and why you might use that as a student here at MATC. We're going to talk about creating your Handshake account, filling out your profile, uploading your documents, such as your resume, how to apply for jobs, internships, and on-campus positions, how to sign up for events and career fairs, and then just some tips and facts that we'd like to share about the Handshake platform. So with that, what is Handshake and why should we be using it? So as students of MATC, you have access to Handshake, which is a job search tool specifically for students and alumni. This platform is used by all Wisconsin schools right now. That includes all the technical college system schools, the UW system schools, as well as private institutions. So employers that are within the MATC Handshake instance have been approved by the MATC Career Hub to post their positions here for our students. We've vetted those employers and we've made sure that they have opportunities that are a right fit for our particular pathways. Within that, you can find job postings for full-time and part-time employment. You can find internship opportunities, on-campus postings, events, career fairs, and a great deal more that we'll dive into today. In addition to that, you can use Handshake for networking. There is a way in the system that we'll be looking at today where you're able to connect and see who is working at a particular employer that maybe is an MATC student or formerly a student, and being able to tap into them and ask them questions about a company of interest. And in this particular instance through Handshake, these are jobs that are directly related to your program. So employers that are posting in Handshake have come to us because they are seeking out current students to take on opportunities with them or graduates of our programs here at MATC to fill positions with them. So they are specifically here for the reason of recruiting you. And lastly, there's less competition here. So as I mentioned with Indeed, Milwaukee Jobs, some of those, even LinkedIn, those places where an employer can post and any job seeker can go and find them, you have the entire workforce that is seeking out opportunities really as your competition as you're applying for that opportunity. Where with Handshake, the only competition is really your peers, since this is a platform that was designed for college students. So now that you know what Handshake is and why you should use it, I'd like to dive into creating your account. So if you have your computer in front of you, or if you don't have a computer, you can use your phone too. You can download the Handshake app on any ISO or Android phone, or you can go on your browser in your laptop and type in matc.joinhandshake.com /register. And then you'll select MATC from the list of schools, and you will register by putting in your gmatc.matc.edu email and your password. So again, I'll just pause here for a moment on the screen so that you can take down whether you want to look up the Handshake app, which again, here's the logo or icon for Handshake. Or you can again type that into your browser. So now that we have that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and to make things a little bit more user-friendly, I'm actually going to drive you through what that student account will look like once you're logged into Handshake. This will give you a better idea of how it functions and how you might use it once you have that system pulled up. So this is my student account here on Handshake. And I wanted to walk you through some key areas to make sure that you have a successful experience searching for opportunities on the Handshake website. So the first thing you'll want to do when you access Handshake is you want to start off with building your particular student profile. I like to say that Handshake works similar to a Netflix model. So the more that you put into it, the more that it sees what you're interested in, what type of opportunities you're seeking out. The more the system has insights to be able to then take that data and feed back to you opportunities that are more relevant to what you're looking for. So again, the more you put into it, just like you would with Netflix, the more you watch certain shows, they might recommend to you others that are similar. They use a similar type of algorithm here at Handshake. So in order to give them that information, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and fill out your profile. So you'll see an avatar. My avatar has a picture in there right now. Yours probably just has a silhouette of an image. But you'll want to click on that avatar in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. And from there, you're going to want to go ahead and fill out your profile. So I'm going to go to the My Profile piece. And you'll want to make sure that your profile is complete. On your profile, you will be able to upload your resume, and that can help you populate a lot of this information. So having a resume ready to go to populate into here is great because you can populate that information. But you'll want to click into each section. You'll want to click into the little pencil icon to make sure your name is listed and your school year. You'll want to make sure that you have, again, clicking on this pencil icon, your journey. So what are you passionate about? What are you looking for on Handshake? And what are your experiences or skills? So again, really highlighting those types of things. In this section, you then have an education section that you would need to populate, a work and volunteer experience section, as well as your interests. And again, the pencil icon is in the upper corner each time, so you can go ahead and put that information into your profile. Again, you can also fill out the personal information. This page is easily populated by uploading a resume. So again, putting your resume into your profile will help populate some of these fields, and then you'll just have to go in and do a spot check to make sure that everything looks the way you'd like it to. So with that said, how do you upload a resume? Again, in your upper right-hand corner, you can click on your profile and you can click on My Documents. This is where you'll want to make sure that your resume is added. You can add a new document here. As you can see, I have a resume that's uploaded. You can choose to make it visible. If you make it visible, that means that employers that are using the Handshake system can find your resume and be able to reach out to you based on your resume if they find you in a search. So this is a really great thing to have visible to employers. And I would just say that on your resume, a great tip is to make sure that underneath your demographic information, that you list your name, your email address, your contact phone number, and just city and state, not your full entire address. So that's typically what we would recommend when uploading a resume here or anywhere else. And should you need help with a resume, the Career Hub here at MATC is here to help. You can reach out to us at careerhub@matc.edu, and you can get set up with an employment specialist to have your resume completed. So now we've looked at your profile, we've looked at adding your resume. The last step underneath your avatar on the right-hand side that you really want to focus in on is the My Career Interests section. So again, upper right-hand corner, click, scroll down to My Interests. And this is where you're really going to want to indicate to Handshake what it is that you're looking to use this platform for. This is going to be powerful information. We found that 80% of students who fill out this section of their profile are actually receiving outreach from employers, reaching out to them via Handshake's messaging feature, asking if they can connect, asking if they might be interested in one of their postings. And so again, this is helping the system work for you. So first thing is, what type of job are you looking for? Full-time, internship, part-time, or on campus? How can Handshake help you? Do you want a job, an internship? Are you looking to build your network? So really indicating there what you're looking for in the system, what options you're considering after graduation, whether that's working, whether that's taking a year off through gap year. Job roles, this is essential. What type of job roles are you interested in? And this might change over time. So this is something you might want to update as you learn about different jobs. But let's just say, for the sake of this, I'm interested in marketing. I could type in marketing, and a number of marketing types of positions will come up. And I could select those that are of interest to me. You want to populate as many job roles here that are interesting to you, so that, again, the system will feed you job roles that are open or posted on Handshake that match your search. Where you're interested in living, this is also important. And you can put multiple demographics here. So I have Milwaukee listed, but certainly if I was, open to relocating, I could put another location here. And again, this is just going to help to really give us additional information so that employers that maybe have offices in different states, or maybe they're located in a different state altogether, may be able to reach out to you seeing that you're interested. And then this last section of what industries are you interested in, really taking a look at this and seeing, not just the job role or job title that you're interested in, but what industry or sector do you want to work in? So are you interested in working in the healthcare industry for a nonprofit? Are you interested in working for a government agency? So filling in all of these. And again, I would say fill in more here. You want this to be as open as possible for all of the things you might be interested in. Because if you only select, one or two, which is what I have here now for example's sake, that really limits the number of things that come my way. So just thinking holistically about all the opportunities you might be interested in. The next section is job functions. So making sure that you're filling in the functions that are of interest to you. Again, making sure that you're filling in all those that you might have any interest in at all. And then your expected graduation date. When you hit Save My Career Interest, this is going to give Handshake all of that intel. You'll see a green little bar saying, thanks for your updating your career interest. And again, I would recommend that you go back and you do this often. So with that, I'm going to go back to the Handshake home screen, which I can do by clicking on the icon in the upper left here. I just want to show you some features of Handshake's home screen that are really quite helpful. So it's a very action-oriented home screen where it's going to give you some insights on how you can get some virtual FaceTime with employers. Handshake has a one-on-one video chat feature where you can chat with an employer about a posting they have. This will show you companies that are offering those opportunities. If you have questions, these are employers that have what they consider to be public staff that are open to answering questions. This recommendation section, again, is based on my activity and things that I've been doing as I've been on my Handshake account and what I've put into my Handshake profile. So this is the recommendation section. And again, recommendations can come right to your email as well, the more you build this up. So this is really a great tool. Based on the job roles that I have selected in my profile, here are some things they said I might be interested in. And then there's also recommendations, again, based on activity. So as you can see, some of the things I said where the system starts to follow along with what you're doing. So I'm going to scroll back up, and I'm going to now show you how you would search for a job or internship in Handshake. So again, all of your functionality is really along this top toolbar. We're going to click on Jobs. And this will take you to the jobs page. And really the best and most effective way to use this page is to use filters and keywords to search. So I always start with a location filter. And if you select Milwaukee, for instance, it's going to automatically give you a 50-mile radius, but you can pull this down and make it more in line with how far from Milwaukee you're interested in working. Again, full-time, part-time, internship, or on campus, so you can select those. Again, I am just for example sake going to select full-time. And then in the search bar, you want to put in quotes keywords that you might find in a job posting that interests you. So it could be job title or words that are commonly associated with that job. So let's just say for my sake here, I am interested in an IT internship. So I'm going to say IT intern is a keyword that I'm going to look up. And now you'll see I have 287 posts that come up. The number of postings here, I should say, update every day because we have postings coming into our office every day from employers. So, 287 today might look very different tomorrow. And you can fill filter out your search results here. Right next to where it says jobs found, there's this relevance feature. You can look for application deadlines. So maybe you want to look at those that have upcoming application deadlines first, or date posted and you want that to come in by like most recent postings. So choose to use that however you'd like. You can scroll through. There usually is multiple pages. And usually what I recommend in the beginning of a search is just looking through and then bookmarking those opportunities that are of interest to you so that you can go back to them and take action on them once you've finished your search. You can bookmark those by just clicking this little bookmark button that is next to the job. And then once you've completed your search, maybe you've done a couple other keywords that are in quotes, a couple other search filters that might work for you because there are other filters here that you can look at. Then you would go back to saved up here. And you can see all the jobs that you've saved and you can start the process of applying. And so each application will guide you through what you need to do. And if it takes you to an outside website, it will do that automatically. So everything you need to do will be right here in your saved search then. So that's how you go about searching for a job. The next thing I want to show you is events. So MATC's Career Hub also hosts a number of career readiness events to help you with things like resume, interview skills, job tips, things like that. And then we also have career hiring events such as career fairs. And our employer partners also host their own events that they post in Handshake as well. So if you are interested in seeing what types of career events you could engage in, either hosted by MATC or hosted by employer partners of MATC, you can go into the events section in the upper left-hand corner. And again, there is the option to search with keywords and search with these filters. I usually do not use keywords here a ton. I usually use just the filters for events and fairs, but this is something that, if maybe you have a very specific thing you're looking up, you could certainly do the putting in quotes the keyword that you're looking for as well. For the sake of this example, I'm going to show you that you can look at things that are coming up this week. So if you wanted to look at the week ahead and see what types of opportunities there are, you can see, our office has this Get That Job interview skills session in Spanish coming up, as well as a LinkedIn networking session. So you can learn about using LinkedIn in that session, or if you look down here, you'll see there are some sessions that are being offered that do not have the MATC logo, which means they're being hosted by these particular employer organizations. You'll see the date that they're offered, as well as if they're virtual or in person. And you can, again, bookmark these and come back to those, or you can go ahead and click right on into them. So I'm going to click into this one, and you can go to this external registration to register. Some of them will just say register. You click on that to get registered. You can see the full details listed when you click into the event or fair, so that you're able to determine if that's something you'd like to attend. I'm going to go back to all of the events. The other piece that I talked about was career fairs. So the MATC Career Hub does host career fairs, which are those hiring events where you can come with your resume and your elevator pitch ready to go to talk to employers that are currently hiring. So to find an upcoming career fair, you can click on career fairs. And again, this will show you what career fairs are upcoming and if they're hosted by us or not. So you can see we have an MATC Diversity Job Fair that's coming up on the 4th, and an MATC Manufacturing Career Fair at Walker Square that's coming up on March 9th. So again, those are two things we're offering and hosting, but then you can also see this internship and career fair with Kenosha area colleges that MATC students are welcome to participate in. And so this is another option as well. And again, just like with events, if you click into one of these, you'll be able to see more details about that fair. You can even see some of the employers that might be in attendance at that fair. Details on time and location. And then you can go ahead and you can choose to join this or register for this fair. So I'm going to go ahead now that we've gone over fairs and events and show you how you can follow employers. So this is a really helpful feature because if you follow an employer, the system will then give you an email anytime that employer posts a job, an internship, anytime they register for a career fair or to participate in an MATC hosted event, you'll get a notification of that. And that's so valuable if there is a particular employer that you're interested in or would love to work for. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to put in the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks is an employer partner. So I typed them into the search, and I'm going to click on their profile here. And as you can see from the profile, this particular employer has listed their address. You can follow them right here, just clicking this button to follow. And then again, you'll get those email updates anytime they post anything, anytime they're attending a career fair. And so you'll then be in the know and able to get in front of those opportunities whenever the Milwaukee Bucks is recruiting or has opportunities for MATC students. If you were just interested in learning more about the Milwaukee Bucks, this is also a great page to go to because you can learn about them on their About page. You can see students who have worked here, and these are students that either are MATC students or other university students that also have Handshake at their school. And you could choose to message them and ask them about their experience and network with them. So I'm going to click on this message feature, and it will ask, getting started with Handshake, that you be professional, use appropriate language, just so you have to agree to these guidelines. And then you'll go ahead and click on what you want to ask this individual. So in particular, I'd like to ask her about her professional experience. This is going to draft a general email that I can then edit. I can fill in the blanks, and then I can send. And this is a great way to find out from another student or recent alumni, also are listed here, and they can share their experience at that organization. And they could even be a good point person to getting your foot in the door with an organization too. You can see this employer's contact information along the sidebar here, jobs that they currently have posted in Handshake. So again, you can just hit see all. This will take you over to that jobs page we navigated earlier, so you could apply to jobs that they have posted. And then this last piece is public staff listing. So not every employer organization lists their staff publicly, but if they do, this means that you can reach out to this staff member with a question that you have right through Handshake. So if I wanted to reach out to Haley, I could send her a message here, and I could type in what that message would be. Maybe I'm interested in learning more about the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe I'm interested in a posting that I recently applied for and just seeing if I could talk to someone more about questions I had on the position. So this is a great feature when an employer has that public staff listing. So that's a little bit about how to review this particular employer profile, how to follow them so you get updates about their activity, and then how to use each of these pieces of the profile. Another piece I want to just point your attention to before leaving is under reviews. So you can see reviews that have been left by other students about their experience, what they liked, what they wished was different, and advice that they would have for other students. You can also see if this employer is, what their interview process is like. So what was it like? What questions were you asked? So again, this is going to give you some insights. Maybe you've been following Milwaukee Bucks, you have an interview with them scheduled, and you're just curious for some insights before that interview. This is a great place to go and look for that. So one last thing I want to show on the employers page is just that if you're not sure of particular employers that you want to follow, you can also just use this for discovering different employers. And maybe you just say, I'm going to search the Milwaukee area. I'm going to, select a particular industry that I'm interested in. And I'm really going to use this to help me start exploring what types of employers might be out there for me that I haven't considered or I was not familiar with. And so again, this is another great way. Check out those employers. If one piques your interest, follow them, see if they have job postings. And that's a great way to get started. So we've had the opportunity now to go through how to update your profile, which is first and foremost the most important piece that you want to do when logging into Handshake. So again, upper right-hand corner here, underneath your avatar, make sure you fill out my profile, my documents, and my career interests. Again, 80% of students who fill out those 3 sections receive communication from an employer inquiring about whether or not they would be interested in one of their open opportunities. Search for jobs on your own through this job search page. See what events and fairs are available through MATC or our employer partners, and then follow employers and learn more under the employers section. These are the great features of Handshake. Again, the website, if you hadn't gotten to it earlier, is matc.joinhandshake.com. If you have questions at all as you're preparing to work in Handshake through your job search, whether that be resume, whether that be practice interviews, whether it be just preparing an elevator pitch for a career fair, our employment specialists here in the MATC Career Hub are here to help you. So please take advantage by reaching out at careerhub@matc.edu. That's all for this evening's presentation. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that this information was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you all navigating through Handshake. Bye.